Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are the Lions.
We're in the late days of June, so weather-wise, what would you expect in Chicago? Cool and misty and overcast for the final game of this three-game series, the Reds and the Cubs, as Devin Mesoraco looks to set a new Reds franchise record here tonight. Good evening and welcome on this Wednesday night to Reds Baseball. Jim Kelch along with Chris Welsh high atop Wrigley Field. And Chris, we watched Devin Mesoraco hit 5 home runs in each of the last 5 games he has played. All of them pretty darn big ones.
Well, you're not kidding about that, but when he hits them, they stay hit. He's a big, strong guy, and he's so interesting the way he hits home runs. I mean, he hits them, and they're usually not, there are no doubters. And the other thing about it, he hits them to left field for the most part. Very interesting thing about that. We'll show you that later on. But Devin Mesoraco is in high cotton with the kind of people that he is with right now, tied hitting 5 home runs in 5 ball games.
Well, the Reds will try to win this series here tonight against the Cubs. They'll do it with the big right-hander Matt Latos on the mound. 3rd start since coming off the DL, looking for that first W.
Well, Johnny K and the K's, that music video probably more suited for Matt Latos than anybody else. He hopes to have more than 2 strikeouts tonight. He's pitched very well in this ballpark in the past 4 starts. He's also had a history of pitching really well against the Cubs. So I'm sure that Brian Price and everybody else who's a Reds fan is hoping that Matt Latos is able to bounce back after somewhat of a subpar outing last time against the Toronto Blue Jays. But remember now, he just came off the disabled list a few weeks ago. So you can't raise the bar of expectation too high. You're going to have ups and downs. Let's hope tonight is one of those up outings for Latos.
His mound opposition tonight will be the right-hander Edwin Jackson. Tonight, the Reds try to make it 4 series wins in a row. They try to get it done here in Chicago.
Rubber game of a three-game set, Cubs and Reds coming up. I'm Jim Day on the field, and the Reds would like to continue their series winning streak or look a series in which they've won or tied. Let's check out our Elk and Elk storylines for tonight's game, brought to you by Elk and Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio. Last 5 series, the only one the Reds have not won was the 4-gamer against the Dodgers, in which they split. So far, 1-1 in this series. If they want to continue their overall Wrigley success, they're going to need a good start from Matt Latos. We'll see together if they can get it. Upstairs are the men that will call the game, Jim Couch and Chris Welch.
Thank you, Jim, as Brian Price looks on from the dugout along with his bench coach Jay Bell. The Reds looking to get back above the 500 mark with a W here tonight. Here's the lineup card that Brian will present against Edwin Jackson, brought to you by Meyer, Hamilton, Frazier, and Votto. And Votto has done very well against Edwin Jackson. Mesoraco, Bruce, and Heisey in the middle. The bottom 3, Skip Schumacher. He started at second base all 3 of these games with Brandon Phillips out of the lineup. Cozart at short, Latos on the mound. And on the mound for Chicago is this well-traveled right-hander Edwin Jackson.
Well-traveled in as much as this is his 8th different major league team that he is pitching for, and he's a guy that'll go out there and he'll take the ball for you. There's no doubt about it. This year a 5-7 record, earned run average over 5, and for Edwin Jackson, you can almost say that even though he's in the second year of a 4-year contract that's going to pay him a lot of money here in Chicago, there are teams looking at Edwin Jackson the same way that they might be looking at Jeff Samardzija, but for a whole lot less in the way of what it will cost you to take him on. It will take you some money to take him on with his contract, of course, but not nearly the number of players or prospects in return. So there are scouts here looking at Edwin Jackson tonight, and you can see what he's done here at home. He loves pitching at Wrigley Field. A 3-0 record with a 1.8 earned run average. He's rolling right along when he stays right here in the friendly confines.
Yeah, 5 wins total on the year, 4 of them here at home, and he guns 4 if he can get it his 5th win against the Reds in his career. Billy Hamilton, who broke up the perfect game in the 7th inning last night of Jake Arrieta, leads it off. First pitch is inside, and we are underway from a chilly Wrigley Field. 59 degrees game time temperature on the 25th of June.
Well, another good day to pitch here at Wrigley Field. I mean, sometimes you can come in here in the summertime and that wind is blowing out and there's not a whole lot you can do. With those balls that get into the air, they can just travel and travel. Tonight, cool, probably not carrying very well. This is the night made for pitching and defense.
Hamilton at 2 balls and a strike.
Of course, I say that, it'll probably be a 9-8 ball game.
Those flags atop the manually operated scoreboard out there in center appear to be blowing from left to right. Some of the flags appear to be blowing directly in. Hamilton lifts this ball in the air. It's going to carry to the track. Shearholtz is there, and he'll get the job done and make the catch, and that's the way this game gets started. Take a look at the Cubs defensively behind Edwin Jackson, brought to you by your Ford dealers. They have in the outfield tonight, Sweeney is out in left field. Junior Lake gets the start in center, and Nate Shearholtz in right. On the infield, Valbuena, Castro, Barney, and Rizzo. And the battery of Edwin Jackson and John Baker gets the start behind the plate for the first time in this series. Wellington Castillo has been there the first 2 games. Here now is Todd Frazier. Todd at 280. Team leading 17 home runs. Team best 45 runs batted in, although he is being pursued hotly in those 2 categories now by Devin Mesoraco. It's 5 home runs in the last 5 games for Devin, putting him at 14 and 40. Frazier still the top of the team at 17 and 45 in the power department. He is tied along with Anthony Rizzo for 3rd in the National League in home runs. Frazier in the game last night, hitless 0 for 4 in the series. He's 3 for 9 with a run batted in. That was when he tripled in the first inning here on Monday. He'll reach for this one, float it out in the left center, and he's got himself a base hit. Frazier continues what has been a very fine month of June for him. He's at 300 on the month with 17 RBIs, and he gets the one-out hit.
Well, you know, Todd Frazier's hit enough line drives at people that he deserves a few of these somewhere along the line. I mean, we see that and you say, oh, well, what a lucky swing right there. But, you know, you forget about the line drives that he's hit right at the second baseman or right at the center fielder. He remembers those. The old saying that eventually they all even out.
Well, we will not see here today what the Giants and the Padres witnessed out in San Francisco today, I guess. And that is a no-hitter by Tim Lincecum.
Well,
at least on the Cubs side.
Matos hasn't taken the nine yet.
Yeah, at least on the Cubs side.
Although it came close to that last night with the way that Jake Arrieta was throwing the baseball through the first 6. He had retired 18 in a row before Billy Hamilton swatted one into center field.
Let's see if Votto now can go about getting the runs, a first inning run. They've scored a run in 9 of their last 12 games in the first inning. Joey very tardy on that. He's at a ball and a strike. Starts the game at 263, 6 home runs, has driven in 21. He does not have a hit yet in this series. But you can see the numbers against Edwin Jackson have been very profitable. 8 for 21 with a couple of long balls. Votto, in fact, not only did not get a hit last night, he did not reach base. First time that has occurred since he returned from the disabled list. And to take it back 3 games prior to that, he had a 16-game on base streak. Came to a halt here last night when he was 0 for 4. It's jet to San Francisco after the game. Start the West Coast leg. The first of the 2 out there for this 3-city 10-game road trip. Frazier is running. Baker's throw is wide and late. Skips on by the shortstop Castro and into center field, but a good job of backing that up by Junior Lake, or Frazier would have been a third. 9th steal for Todd.
That's one area where Edwin Jackson really has not improved his game all that much. Not a good throw right there, but that's a perfect example of a shortstop really not putting himself in a position to save the catcher an error and save that run, runner getting over from third. Had it not been for heads-up play by Junior Lake, who was charging as soon as he saw that play develop, Frazier would be sitting on third. It'd be a lot easier for Joey Votto to bring him in.
Chance for Joey now to put the Reds in front early as he takes this one in the dirt and runs the count full. Frazier had stolen 6 bases last year. That was a career best in his limited number of years in the big league. But here he is 9, half a week away from the midway point of the season. So this team is definitely doing a lot more base stealing.
Well, he's doing a terrific job of reading the pitcher, not paying attention to him.
Will slice down the left field line, chased by Sweeney, and he cannot get it. One out single by Frazier and a stolen base. Votto the opportunity here. Year Joey at 235, runners in scoring position. He draws the walk, and so it's 2 on with 1 out. Here now is Devin Mesoraco.
Boy, what he's done with those 5 home runs in the last 5 games, just incredible, especially when you take a look at the people that he is tied with. And here are those home runs at the point of contact. And you're going to see that Diamond Mesoraco likes the ball out over the plate, preferably a little bit on the inner third. Down, no problem, says number 3. 4 is about perfect, and so is 5 right there. All of those balls walloped hard, long, home runs, and a record-setting streak that he is on.
1 in Pittsburgh, 2 in Cincinnati against Toronto, and 2 here. There was the game, of course, that Cueto pitched that he did not play. He's homered in 5 straight games in which he has participated in, and again, that ties a franchise record last accomplished by Adam Dunn in 2008, and he's trying to become the all-time franchise leader in that department if he can homer again here tonight. Gets it in the air to center, but Junior Lake is there, and he'll make the catch for the second out. In case you're wondering about Mesoraco, 2 for 8 lifetime without a home run against Jackson.
You know, that fly ball right there, and the fact that Junior Lake backed up that stolen base play with Todd Frazier going into second, that would have otherwise been an RBI for that fly ball on Mesoraco. Castro played it into a ball that would end up in center, and Lake came from a long way deep to come all the way in there to back it up. That was heads-up play by the center fielder.
We talked about Lake last night, that he has been an outfielder in the big leagues, but was an infielder in the minor leagues, and even his play up here primarily has been in left field, not in center. Now it's Bruce with 2 on and 2 out.
Well, here he's coming in. You can see him kind of jogging right in there, and now he's really pouring it on. Lake is, and that's just not a very good play by Starlin Castro. I mean, if you're an infielder, if you're a young kid at home or teaching kids, you know, teach your infielder that if you know you're not going to have to be able to put a play on the guy, get your body in front of that ball. Block it like a catcher.
Into the right field corner. Is this going to be a fair ball? It is. It one hops the wall. Shearholtz will try to get it in. Frazier will score. Here comes Votto to the plate. Here's the throw. Got it. Close play at the dish. Tag put on by Baker. Votto is out. It goes 9-4-2. But the Reds do score first here in the first inning. A double by Bruce gives him his 28. Here's a look at that last out. Baker did a good job of getting that glove right down there at the corner of the plate before Votto could touch the dish. To the right field corner in the top of the inning, and here's another look at that play that ends the frame on the throw from Barney to Baker.
Strong throw by Barney, but you see Baker got that glove right down there, right in front of home plate to make sure that Votto could not get his cleat onto the plate without being tagged out.
And really, we're talking about Rule 7.13 earlier. That is textbook in terms of not blocking the plate before the ball gets there, but still getting back in time.
That's exactly what Major League Baseball wants right there. They don't want a collision at the plate with a, one superstar running into a catcher, perhaps somebody getting blown up, blowing out a knee, hurting the team, hurting the viewability of the team, and so on. And I think that's what they want. There's nothing less exciting about that than a collision at the plate where the same result happens. I like that slide rule, and I like the way Major League Baseball today has amended it.
Let's get a run and have a lead for Matt Latos as he takes the mound here in the bottom of the first. His third start, still without a decision, 3.86 ERA. A tremendously good start at Milwaukee. And a so-so start, I guess you'd call the one against Toronto.
One of the things you notice about Matt Latos, let's just compare him for a moment to yesterday's starter, Jake Arrieta, where they set up on the rubber. Yesterday, Arrieta was way over here on this side of the rubber. He liked to pitch over there because his breaking ball was more of a three-quarter to a sweeping breaking ball that would go sideways. Latos' stuff goes straight downhill, as you can see by that curveball right there. He's got such a high arm angle. He's 6 feet 6 inches tall. Great downward plane. So it really doesn't matter to him where he is on the rubber. He pitches over there on the first base side because it's easier for him to own that outside corner to right-handers. And he does that as well as anybody in the game.
Trying to get Lake to get the Cubs' first inning going here. Junior didn't play in the game on Monday. He's in the lineup and in center field yesterday, batting second. He's playing center field again today, hitting in the leadoff spot. Their main leadoff man, Emilio Bonifacio, is still on the disabled list. So they've gone through a number of players up there.
Junior Lake is one of these players that is so gifted athletically. He's almost forced himself to the major league level just because his tools are so good. But what he hasn't figured out yet is how to shrink the strike zone. His approach is still up there wailing away. And that's why his strikeouts are way, way up and his walks are way down.
Takes that one just up and in, according to C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, in a full count.
I mean, he has walked 10 times and he has struck out 78. So the key, obviously, you get ahead of him and then you make him chase a little breaking stuff low and away, and he will chase.
A little comparison there. You mentioned 78 strikeouts and 222 at bats. That's more than one every 3 times up.
Swing and miss rate highest in baseball.
Lake will get a look at another 3-2 here from Latos. Like he may have broken that bat. Schumacher makes the play and they get him at first base. Lake thought he had beaten that out. Let's see if Rick Renteria wants to come out of the dugout and let their video man take a look at that.
Well, he's asking a consensus in the dugout right now. That's a very close call at first base.
They're going to apparently let that slide. Renteria says, no, I will not come out. Lake really motored it down the line. There's what you were talking about the other day, hitting the front of the bag versus the middle of the bag. Lake hit the front of that first base bag the way you're taught to do it. Here's Ryan Sweeney, the left fielder. Starts this game under 200 at 198 with 6 RBIs. Started in the game here on Monday. Played right field, was hitless in 2 at bats. He's really getting into the swing of things again. Is Sweeney, after being on the disabled list for the better part of 6 weeks with a right hamstring strain, activated on the 13th of June, not quite 2 weeks ago.
Rich Renteria tonight is running his left-handed hitting lineup out there. He's got 5 lefties in the lineup. hoping that that can somehow solve Matt Latos. He knows full well how Latos has pitched in this ballpark. 4 stars, 3-0, 3.1 earned run average. Last 6 against the Cubs have been equally as impressive overall. 4-0 in that run.
Another opportunity for Schumacher. Sweeney is gone 4-3. Take a look at the Cubs' overall starting lineup, brought to you by Meyer. Lake and Sweeney have been retired. Now Rizzo is up there, bringing a 6-game hitting streak into the game. Castro has 4, Valbuena, then Shearholtz, and in the bottom 3, John Baker, Darwin Barney, and Edwin Jackson. Here is Anthony Rizzo. Homered in the game here on Monday, number 16. Homered in the game last night. The first base runner of the game in the bottom of the 4th inning after Bailey had retired the first 11. He comes into this game tied for 3rd with Frazier with 17 home runs. And he is late on that first one. Rizzo at 288, he's driven in 44.
When you get a hitter as hot as Rizzo, and I mean he is scalding on fire. 11 for 24, 3 home runs, 6 driven in. You've got to change up the speed a little bit. You got to get him off balance. Because right now his plate coverage is tremendous. As was witnessed the other night when he hit that home run on a pitch that was about a foot outside.
Jammed him here, and against a shift they pop it up. Handled by Cozart, and Latos has a 1-2-3 first inning. On Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Ford, go further. By Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. Edwin Jackson back to work. He gave up a first inning run to the Reds, and now he gets Heisey, Schumacher, and Cozart. 6, 7, 8. In Brian Price's scheme of things here tonight. Now Bueno will make this play. Chris Heisey really has had a tough go of things in the month of June. He is out 5-3 and out number 1. Heisey comes into this game 2 for 20 in June. Batter is Skip Schumacher, and for more why he is in there for the 3rd straight game, let's go downstairs to Jim Day.
The original starting lineup Brian Price put out today included Brandon Phillips, and he said he was going to go send Phillips out there and do baseball activities again in batting practice. I saw him work with the trainers and talk to Brandon afterwards. He says he's got swelling around that right heel, and they tried to put a pad in there to alleviate some of the contact heel to shoe. But Brandon said when he flat out tried to sprint, he could not change directions. He thought he would hurt the team over a 9-inning span, so they scratched him, put Schumacher into the lineup for the 3rd straight game. But Brandon does tell me he is available to pinch hit.
You know, Schumacher had only made 1 start this year. I know he started the season on the disabled list, but only 1 start this year at second base prior to this series. And now he started all 3 games there against the Cubs. Swing and a miss. Boy, that thing was close down the left field line. It looked like it was hitting the red clay in Paris, the French Open. See the ball mark.
Don't they have a little electronic gizmo to call it true?
Yes, they do.
What's that called? Yeah.
Well, every place calls it something a little bit different. Hawkeye is a general term. Cyclops.
Not that those were names for good and bad umpires.
Same thing. That's in effect what they are. There's the ball mark. Schumacher 1 for 7 in the series, 223 on the year. John Baker getting the start behind the plate in this game for the Cubs. Catching Edwin Jackson, with Wellington Castillo getting the night off. Baker's a former Marlin, former Padre. He was getting the bulk of the time behind the dish when Castillo was on the DL. Billy Hatcher makes that play down there. See a fellow in the stands with a Reds hat on and Reds gear. You're going to make sure that he gets that baseball, even if you're in enemy territory, and that's exactly what Hatch did. Schumacher, a strikeout victim, the first of the game, as they complete that with a throw to first for Edwin Jackson.
Well, Jackson is a pitcher that accumulates a fair amount of strikeouts. I mean, he's not throwing as hard as he used to. He used to be a guy that would go mid-90s average with his fastball. He's dropped down a couple of miles an hour. But he's had just about a strikeout per inning so far this year. Tonight making start number 251 in his major league career. And I'll tell you how long Edwin Jackson's been around. He's been around. I remember Jim Bowden telling me that he'd like to get that Jackson kid from the Los Angeles Dodgers because he really likes him.
Key part of that sentence being kid.
Well, and the fact that Jim Bowden was a general manager of the Reds. That's how long ago it was. And the Reds had original conversations around Edwin Jackson.
This guy's been traded, what? You need 2 hands to count the number of times he has been traded. You mentioned earlier he's played on 8 different big league clubs. Highly touted prospect for the Dodgers back in the early 2000s. Broke into the big leagues at 19. Ozark pops this ball up. Anthony Rizzo handles it. And the Reds go in order here in the top of the second.
it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Take a look at the Reds defensively behind Matt Latos, brought to you by your Ford dealers. It's Heisey getting his fourth start of the month in June. He hasn't played a whole lot this month and left. Hamilton and then Bruce, the remainder of the outfield. Frazier, Cozart, Schumacher, and Votto third to first on the infield. Latos throws to Devin Mesoraco. And Chris Heisey, only 4 starts now, counting tonight, in the month of June. He's really had a tough time offensively, not only this month, but on the year. Hopefully he can end all that here tonight. Cubs bat in the second. They get Starlin Castro into the cleanup spot now for this club. Going on for a couple of months. 11 home runs, 44 runs batted in for Castro, including 18 runs batted in this month. Two-time All-Star, and these numbers that he has put up in the front half, power-wise, 11 and 44, the most he has ever had pre-All-Star break, in what is now his 5th year in the big leagues. But right now he is even in RBIs for all of last year. He had 44 runs batted in last year and 666 at bats. This year, 44 runs batted in, 299 at bats. He has led the National League in at bats 3 consecutive years. He's way out in front of that 1-2, and it is hung on to by Mesoraco. Yes, it is, says C.B. Buckner. His signals there didn't really indicate what he was calling. Third base coach Gary Jones is indicating he thinks that ball was on the ground, that it hit the ground. That version shows that it did. Here comes Rick Renteria out. Mesoraco appeared to get his glove on top of that ball, and right there you can see it on the ground. You got a better look at it the other way. Now, he could appeal, I would guess, couldn't he, Chris, to Trip Gibson down at first?
I think you're only going to appeal on a swing. What you could do, however, is ask the umpires to get together and discuss to see if any of them saw it more definitively than the home plate umpire did. And that's maybe what he's going to do.
With a right-handed batter at the plate in Castro, it would seem that the first base umpire would have the better view. Our replay, that first one that we showed, appeared to truly see that ball was on the ground right there, right here.
Well, you know, the umpires, if he had thought quickly enough, C.B. Buckner could have said, let me see the baseball. Remember back in the old days when you didn't know if it hit a batter's foot or not, and they check it for shoe polish? You could do the same thing for dirt here.
Now they call him out. Our replay showed that was an incorrect call.
Yeah.
But the Reds will take it. Strikeout number 1 for Latos. The batter will be Luis Valbuena. Before replay, which was, of course, brought into the game this year, that's what you had to do. That was a victory if you could get the umpires at least together to discuss a play.
Yeah, there was a time when umpires were so stubborn that they thought that was a sign of weakness, that they would actually ask one of the other crew members for help. Now I think that the effort to try to get every call right has really been good for the game. Umpires are, they're not taking it personally. They realize that they can't possibly be at the perfect angle on every play, and I think the game's been much better because of that. It's a tough job. You're down there. You don't get the feel for the speed of the game when you're sitting at home, even when you're watching it on a big screen TV. But when you're you're down there next to the batter and you see the speed of the game, balls coming in there at 95 miles an hour, and you have just a split second to make up your mind on a ball, strike, check swing, did he not go, did he go? It's remarkable that they do as well as they do, and it's a long weeding out process to get these guys when they finally get selected to the major leagues.
Well, we've seen it happen in every sport, and it really has helped all of them. This is the first year that baseball has really gone to the extensive use of replay, and as we talked about earlier today, and we'll continue to talk about probably tonight, the changing of that rule 7.13 regarding the blocking of the plate is the first really rule that they have changed somewhat since the season began in an effort to try to get it right.
Well, you would never see a rule change in the middle of the season, would you?
No. Glove there of Mesoraco.
You know, Brian Price in his comments before the game about Matt Latos, he touched on one thing, and we kind of cruised right on by it in the pregame show. But you know, when you've had as much time off as Matt Latos, and even though you're going through all the rehab, you still haven't built up your arm strength to mid-season form. All these other guys out here have thrown lots of innings by now, you know, maybe 100 innings almost, and the more you throw, the stronger you get, and he's just not quite there yet. And the fastball that we're used to seeing Latos have last year, you know, 93, 94, sometimes 95 miles an hour, has not reached that pinnacle yet.
Well, he's gotten the first two here in the second, the first five he has faced. A reminder that as you enjoy this evening's game, a little bit later on, we'll have our Miller Time moment of the game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. That's coming up later in tonight's broadcast.
And my point on that is it's more difficult to pitch when you can't rear back and have that extra zip on your fastball. It takes more concentration. You have to make sure that you finish every pitch, or that when you throw your fastball, you throw it to a spot and you hit your spot, because the margin of error isn't as big.
Matt made 4 starts down in Louisville. This is his 3rd start here for the Reds. Tremendous debut he made against the Milwaukee Brewers almost 2 weeks ago. 6 innings of no-run, 2-hit baseball.
And you come out of the chute like that, and everybody says, well, he's only going to get better from here, right?
He was burned by a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning last Friday night against Toronto by Edwin Encarnacion. To the right side, and Schumacher, and a flip on to first means Schierholtz is retired, and it means Latos has set down the first 6 that have come up there against him. Your Reds take on the Milwaukee Brewers coming up July 4th through the 6th at Great American Ballpark, and you can do it for only $12. Saturday, July the 5th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Joey Votto t-shirt thanks to John Morrell. Get your tickets today by calling 513-381-RED. You can also go to select Kroger locations or on your computer, reds.com/tickets. Coming up on July the 5th. Here's Latos to lead things off in the third. Matt Teixeira hitless in 4. Big, strong guy. Does not have a hit this year, but he does have 3 career home runs. Hits this ball out to shortstop Castro. High throw and out at first base. Footwork dance there by Anthony Rizzo, and Latos is gone. 1 out. Well, it is a little foggy here at the ballpark tonight. You can see it lingering over Wrigley Field. It kind of reminds you of when the Reds were here last year, Chris, in June. Look at that.
That was amazing that they actually played through that.
Yeah, the game never stopped at all. Brandon Phillips had a big home run in that game.
We think.
You could barely see anything on the field. I remember thinking, oh my goodness, how are they going to continue? Later on in the game, the fog kind of burned off via the lights at the ballpark. That was something last year. He went around and he's at a ball and a strike. Hamilton broke up the perfect game by Jake Arrieta in the 7th inning last night with a solid single into center field. The only time he was on base in the middle game of this series, and kept his hitting streak alive at 12. Sends this one up into the edges of the fog. It's going to be handled by Junior Lake out in left center. And there are 2 out. That's twice Hamilton has hit the ball in the air. They really like him to try to avoid that.
Well, that's easily said, but when you're facing a guy like Edwin Jackson, he's a fly ball pitcher. He only gets 41% of his outs via the ground ball, so that makes him very much a fly ball pitcher. Now, on a normal day in the summertime when the wind's blowing out at Wrigley Field, you may not want to be a fly ball pitcher, but tonight it's not going to hurt you one bit. In fact, it's going to help you because it'll give you the confidence that aside from some big sluggers like the Reds have coming up right now, and Frazier and Votto and Mesoraco, as long as you don't give them something to pull, you can pretty much pitch them to the big part of the ballpark.
Frazier had a soft floating base hit into left field his first time, into left center actually. Then scored the run on the hit by Bruce just ahead of Votto being thrown out at the plate. That fog is lingering right above the stadium here tonight. More like an October day than a June day here in Chicago.
Except, as our statistician Ethan Cooperson said, the Cubs are playing. So you know it's not October.
It'll be October. And only a Chicagoan can say that without getting slapped.
Well, Marty can say it.
Frazier cracks this one out in the left center field, but Lake is going to run it down on the track. And the Reds, for the 2nd inning in a row, are retired in order by Edwin Jackson. On the change to the collision rule on forced plays at home plate. What does Aaron Kraft's future in basketball look like? And with the NBA draft coming up tomorrow, the Cavs are still quiet about their plans for the #1 pick. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. Brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less. Those Reds fans either are warm-blooded or they did not come prepared. Shorts and shorts on a night like tonight. On the other hand, winter jacket, blanket, and a scarf.
Sure know the locals from the tourists, don't you?
A little bit more prepared, those Redlegs fans, with some sweatshirts. Maybe they walked along the magnificent mile today and found some Reds gear somewhere. Get a sweatshirt in one seat and a short sleeve shirt in another. John Baker, the catcher of the Cubs, batting 7th, leads things off. On the year, it's 165 with 4 runs batted in. Baker has a couple of hits, 4 trips against Latos in his career. And trying to do what Homer Bailey did last night, go through the order. 3 innings in a row. Hard by Baker, but a nice play to his left by Frazier, who does the 360, throws out the Cubs catcher. As always, we ask for you to tweet your photos to us using hashtag #OhioFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game. Always brought to you by AT&T. We'll have our AT&T fan photo of the game a little bit later on. Hashtag #OhioFanPhoto. 1 out for Darwin Barney. Barney hitless in the game last night, 0 for 3. Ended a 5-game hitting streak. He is now dipped below the Mendoza line at 199.
Well, a very good defensive player, and really to Darwin Barney's defense, he's not alone with offense going down. He's never been a terrific hitter, but there are more and more hitters that are hovering down the low 200s than ever before. This is by far a year of the pitcher extravaganza. In fact, right now in baseball, there are 17 qualified hitters who are hitting 220 or less. 17. So this isn't only a case of being a middle infielder for the Cubs.
Well, Barney's rookie year in 11, he hit 276, and I'm sure that the Cubs thought this is what we expected out of this young man coming out of Oregon State. But he has gone down progressively since then. He hit 208 last year.
Hey.
Won the Gold Glove in 2012. Phillips should have won it. There's a base hit, the first base runner of this game for Darwin Barney. First base runner for the Cubs as he is at first base. Gold Glove he won in 12, broke up a string that would have been 4 consecutive by the Reds' Brandon Phillips, who won it in 10 and 11. Did not get it in 12 and got it back last year. Edwin Jackson takes one up and in. A couple of sacrifices by the 30-year-old right-hander so far this year. Comes from a military family. His wife was in the military. His dad was a long time military man, Edwin Sr., 23 years in the Army.
The Reds were so aggressive on the previous pitch that Edwin Jackson was convinced that they were going to charge hard, and he was going to try a little butcher boy slug bunt through the infield. The corner guys hardly moved at all right there, so now you wonder here on a 2-0 count, you're going to give him a chance to swing the bat?
Did you fire that out there the other day when you were working radio when Leak did that, Butcher Boy?
Yeah.
I know the Cowboy, he was right on it.
That's what we used to call him.
I think you and I have had the conversation over the years as to the origin of that name, the Butcher Boy. We've never really been able to come up with it.
Well, we'll have to dig into it. Maybe the guys on Red Reporter can look it up for me.
Get to the origin of the word Butcher Boy.
Anybody can find it, they can. Dig it on up.
Junior Lake, top of the Cubs order, waits on deck. Reds lead 1-0 on a first inning run. One out single by Frazier, then a stolen base, and a 2-out double by Bruce. After Votto had walked and Bruce was at the plate, he doubled into the right field corner. Votto was thrown out at the plate to end the inning. That's a strikeout. Jackson bunting on a 2-2 pitch, fouls it, and he is out number 2 here in the third. Follow every Reds game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and much more. Download on the App Store or visit Reds.com today. So with 2 out, here's Junior Lake. Started the Cubs first by bouncing out to Schumacher at second base. Pull this one on the ground to Cozart, and Zach will throw Lake out. And so a 0 put up by Latos for the Cubs here in the bottom of the third.
fast. To get your group on board the Fan Express, call Reds Group Sales at 513-765-7600. I'm Jim Day. Joey Votto set to lead off this half inning for Cincinnati. And his counterpart, Anthony Rizzo, is having a terrific first half of a season. And here locally, it's garnering comparisons, Votto and Rizzo. Rizzo says that he is very, very honored to be in the same sentence, or even compared to Joey Votto. But it goes much further than admiration from afar. The two have a mutual friend that's a trainer, and they train together in the offseason in Florida. So Anthony Rizzo getting tips straight from the former MVP.
Votto leads it off. Well, he was quoted in the paper here locally today as saying that he really likes the way Rizzo's game has evolved over the last couple of years.
Now, one thing that they are doing in similar fashion, I mean, Votto's been around, he's done it longer than Rizzo has, but choke up. It wasn't until really about the halfway point of last year that Anthony Rizzo began to choke up a little bit on the back, gain a little better back control. We see him doing that now even before he gets to 2 strikes. And Votto we see do that an awful lot. He'll do it against hard throwers, he'll do it against some left-handers, and almost always when he gets down in the count. He's 0-2 now, and he may choke up even a little bit more.
Rocco looming next. Interesting note, Chris, that we received from Kent Weaver, pre-game show producer, regarding Butcher Boy.
All right, I'm open. I mean,
it was according to this note, it was something that was derived by Casey Stengel, longtime manager in New York. And Stengel had a language all his own called Stengelese, and one of the things that he used to say during batting practice was, "Butcher boy that ball, Butcher boy that ball." They said, "What do you mean by Butcher boy?" And he said he's referring to the downward smash of a butcher's meat cleaver. Butcher, and you've talked about it, get under it.
Well, I'll go with that.
Creates underspin.
Casey Stengel, ease.
So a bunt attempt, a pull back, and hit down on it. The Butcher boy.
Well, here's a guy that doesn't Butcher boy too many. In fact, he just goes ahead and manhandles the pitch when he gets it where he wants it. Hit a fly to center field in the first inning, and really hitting it to center field is about as far right as he will go, at least on the baseball field.
Hits it hard, and it's off the glove of the third baseman. Recovers in time to get the out at second base. Good recovery by Valbuena down there at third. That one almost took the glove right off his hand. Votto was forced third to the second baseman for the first out.
I mean, just the way this ball sounds off the bat, sounds like somebody stacking timber. Valbuena there just able to kind of flag it down, and still has a chance for Joey Votto at second base.
Hustle down the line. Devin Mesoraco. His at-bats tonight are one of those situations everybody says, hey, hang on for a minute. Mesoraco's up. Let's see what he does. Trying to set a new Reds franchise record for consecutive games with a home run. Last night, the 6th player in franchise history to hit a home run in 5 consecutive games, the last being Adam Dunn in 2008. Here's Bruce. He's driven in the only one of this game. So is it official? Are we going to go with that explanation then? A Butcher boy?
Yeah.
We're going to go with that?
Yeah, anything that states that its origin started with Casey Stengel, I'm with it.
And it does seem to make sense. The Butcher, the Downward action on the meat, the cleaver. Butcher board. So now, from now on, if anybody asked us, we have an explanation. Brewers had not had a whole lot of success against Edwin Jackson prior to that double in the first inning. Now here comes Rick Renteria out. He's going to talk with the first base umpire, Trip Gibson. They may have looked at some video down in their clubhouse that would show that Mesoraco was picked off over there. They're going to challenge this. So the crew chief, who is Dale Scott, the second base umpire, along with the umpire who made the call, Trip Gibson, will go over and look at it. Cubs, of course, are hoping they'll overturn it. Reds want it either confirmed or stands.
I thought there was something up just by the way that Rizzo took a lot of time to get the ball back to the pitcher. He probably got a motion or a signal from the Cubs dugout that said, go ahead and waste as much time as you can.
Well, Justin, looking at the replay that we just saw, I didn't see anything that could overturn it.
They may ring him up. Yeah, that's the advantage of having a left-handed throwing first baseman, because it is so much easier and so much more efficient for a player that has his glove on his right hand to make that sweep tag at first base.
Edwin Jackson already has 3 pickoffs this year. If they overturn this, it would be his 4th. What did you think of that replay?
Thought he was out.
Okay. I didn't think you could tell from that angle, but maybe they have another one that they're looking at that we aren't seeing. And again, it's not these umpires that are making the call. They're simply listening to the information.
I can tell you one thing. I mean, there's probably people at home that will get a better look than we are. We're up in this very tiny TV booth in Wrigley Field with monitors that are much smaller than the average television.
By about 10 times, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right. They've overturned that call at first base. And Mesoraco is picked off, the 4th pickoff of the year for Edwin Jackson. The Cubs challenge, and the call is overturned, and there are 2 out.
Now that makes 2 Reds now erase on the base paths. That pickoff, and Votto, of course, out at the plate on the double by Bruce in the first inning.
Jackson goes to the windup now with 2 men out and nobody on. Hit hard the other way by Bruce, and out there by Sweeney to retire the side. Jay has had 2 at-bats tonight and put good wood on the ball both times. Fox Sports Ohio is brought to you by the JTM Food Group. Let's create great dishes together. By Toyota. For over 30 Toyota offers, visit buyatoyota.com. And by B-Dubs. Kick off your afternoon at B-Dubs with the best seats outside of Brazil this summer. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. Still a foggy night here in Chicago on this Wednesday evening, a wrap-up of this series. Reds were a winner here in the opener on Monday, 6-1, thanks to a 5-run ninth inning. Highlighted, of course, by the Devin Mesoraco grand slam. They lost last night 7-3, but Mesoraco hit a home run in the ninth inning. It was his 5th home run in 5 days, tying a Cincinnati Reds franchise record. The Reds lead 1-0 here going into the bottom of the 4th inning against the Cubbies tonight. Reds and Fox Sports Ohio like to acknowledge a couple of special milestones taking place today, this June the 25th. How about Terry and Bonnie Levy watching tonight's game in Fayetteville, Arkansas, celebrating their 59th wedding anniversary today. Congratulations to Terry and Bonnie Levy. Len Connie is at home in Middletown, Ohio, celebrating his 103rd birthday. Hoping to get the best gift of all, a Reds win, and maybe a World Series. Happy anniversary, happy birthday. Ryan Sweeney up first for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 4th. And go to the wall. That's going to be a double to start the bottom of the 4th by Ryan Sweeney. And the Cubs are in business here as they put the tying run on to get the inning going.
It looks like a little changeup, and if I'm not mistaken, unless he was trying to backdoor him with a breaking ball right there, you can see the hesitation swing by Sweeney. It's almost a two-part swing. He got his leg down, but he kept his hands back. Was able to hit that ball to left field, drive it far enough to get it by Heisey.
Second hit of the game for the Cubs, their first runner to reach second base. That's the tying run with nobody out, bringing their most dangerous hitter, Anthony Rizzo, to the dish. Good season, good month for Rizzo. Popped up his first time. He's only 2 for 13 lifetime against Latos. Sweeney with a leadoff double represents the tying run. Skip Schumacher really is playing a deep second base. Rizzo with 7 home runs in the month. And Schumacher out there in shallow right field. Borderline pitch goes the way of Latos, 2-2. Rizzo disagrees.
Yeah, nice little two-seamer that there's not a whole lot you can do if you're Rizzo. This ball, you're thinking, if I swing at this, I'm just going to break my hands. And it's right, perfectly placed on the inside corner, just with enough comeback action. came back with a fastball at 91 right there. That's where Latos misses that extra MPH. The difference between 91 and say 94 right there, which is what he normally can get to when he wants to. And he reaches back right now, having had so much time off due to knee surgery, elbow surgery last year, that arm strength's not there yet.
Pops him up. Is there a play? No, it's out of play. 3 rows deep. Latos at 56 pitches thus far in this game.
Now, he said it publicly. He was so disappointed in himself last time for burning the bullpen, not giving them a break, and said that he was super disappointed in himself, and that was putting it mildly. Guy holds himself to high standards because he knows what he means to the starting rotation when he's healthy.
He's talking about that game on Friday against Toronto when he gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3, 9 hits, to 97 pitches in 5 2/3, and the Reds used 6 relievers in that game. Another foul ball.
Yeah, that is 15 foul balls tonight off of Matt Latos, and that again shows you that he just doesn't have that put-away pitch that he normally has when his arm is 100%. So the fact that he's throwing a shutout so far against the Cubs with what he would describe as not his best stuff shows you something about his makeup.
Last foul there by Rizzo. Ian Latos going at it here. This will be upcoming, the 10th pitch of this at bat for Rizzo, thrown by Latos. It's a fair ball. Votto fields, flips on to Latos covering, and Rizzo is retired. Sweeney moves over to third, and so he's now 90 feet away with 1 out.
Great battle right there between Rizzo and Latos. Latos just kept peppering fastballs and breaking balls right in on his hands. He finally went with a breaking ball right there. And after 4 2-strike fouls, he finally gets a ball hit sharply right down the line, but there's Votto to field it.
Reds infield comes in with 1 out, the tying 1 1/3 for Starlin Castro. One of 2 strikeouts recorded by Latos so far in this game. Sweeney represents the tying run. Big cut there by Castro, but now Latos ahead 1 and 2. Now Bueno waits on deck. Latos reached for it, couldn't quite get it. Sweeney will score, and this game is tied. Castro picks up his 45th RBI of the year, and here we are. The late days of June, he has surpassed his RBI total of a year ago.
Well, when all else fails, hit it at the worst fielder on the field. And that is normally the pitcher. He's so close to home. The Latos, he just couldn't get his glove back there in time. You see that he follows through. It just went right over his right shoulder. And that's the kind you dream about at night, thinking that in your dream you snag it.
He speared for it, but didn't quite come up with it. So a 1-1 game. Now Castro represents the go-ahead run on for Valbuena. Fouled out to Votto at first, his first time. This is the first stop of a 3-city 10-game road trip. For the Cubs, it's the middle team visiting of a 3-team 10-game homestand. They have the Washington Nationals coming in next. They lost 2 of 3 to the Pirates. Reds trying to get this road trip off to a good start. If they can win tonight, not only would they bump their record back to 1 over 500, they would be a 500 team on the road. This has not been a good homestand for Valbuena. The foul out in the second means he is 1 for 18 during the homestand thus far. Speaking of the Washington Nationals, they were a winner last night at Milwaukee in 16, but today Milwaukee bounced back, got the better of Steven Strasburg, and the Nationals. Brewers were a 9-2 winner, so the Reds need a win here today to stay 7.5 back. In fact, the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Pirates have all already played on this Wednesday. Tampa Bay did beat the Pirates 5-1, so if the Reds can win tonight, they'd leapfrog right back over those Pirates and into third place. The Pirates win last night, and the Reds loss here means the Pirates took over third. Dribble toward third. This is going to be a tough play. Frazier will hold on to it. A swinging bunt hit by Luis Valbuena. The way things have been going for him this homestand, he will certainly take any and all that come his way.
Couldn't lay it down there any better. Todd Frazier knew enough not to try to make a play on something that he really didn't have anything on.
So 3 hits now in this inning by the Cubs. Castro out at second, Valbuena at first. Double play is in order as Shearhold stands in there. He's bounced into 4 of them this year.
Shearholtz is the one hitter in this Cubs lineup that has seen Latos more than anybody. Shearholtz played with the Giants, Latos with the Padres in the same division for several years opposite each other. We've seen him now 31 different at-bats.
going to go foul down the right field side. It also sounded like Schierholtz broke his bat, and indeed he did. New lumber from the bat boy. Make sure you're ready for Reds action 30 minutes before the start of every game. That's with Reds Live, presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing, right here in your exclusive home of Reds baseball, Fox Sports Ohio. Cozart will handle it. They called an infield fly on that, although Cozart never was really settled under that ball. All three infield umpires called infield fly rule. So 2 out, the batter will be John Baker. Cozart on that ball. Never did appear to be totally under it. He was drifting out. Did make the catch. Now with 2 on and 2 out and a run in, it's John Baker. Reds move on to San Francisco after this, and all 4 games will be televised out there here on Fox Sports Ohio. Tomorrow night, Friday night at 10:15. That means Reds Live at 9:30. Saturday 10:05, 10 minutes earlier, 9:30 with Reds Live. And then Sunday it's a 4:05 game. That means Reds Live will come your way beginning at 3:30. Jan Baker here. Schumacher will handle it to retire the side. But the Cubs do push across the tying run. After 4, we are 1-1.
Wrigley here on Fox Sports Ohio. I'm Jim Day, and the pitcher's dominance continues in Major League Baseball, and another no-hitter thrown today. Tim Lincecum joined some elite company today, and the Padres can't feel good about this. It's our Miller time moment. He threw a no-hitter, his first of his career, last year against the Padres, and today he did it again. He came within a walk of a perfect game, struck out 6 in a 4-0 Giants win. He joins Hall of Famer Addy Joss as the only pitchers with 2 no-hitters versus the same team. And he also becomes the 4th active pitcher with 2 no-hitters, including the Reds' Homer Bailey.
Heisey will lead things off here in the 5th inning. How about 3 no-hitters now in what, a little over a month. These are IGS bringing the energy feature for tonight's game. Active pitchers with 2 career no-hitters: Mark Burley, Justin Verlander, Homer Bailey. And now today, of course, Tim Lincecum. It was just shy of a year between no-hitters. Bailey did the same thing. So we've had 3 no-hitters this year. 2 by the Dodgers, Josh Beckett and Clayton Kershaw. Beckett's came on the 25th of May, Kershaw the 18th of this month, and now today, June the 25th. So 3 no-hitters in Major League Baseball, all coming within a month's worth of time. In terms of Lincecum, both of his no-hitters came against San Diego. He threw that no-hitter last year against the Padres on the 13th of July. Throws against them this year. Homers, of course, late 2012 in Pittsburgh, and then last year against the San Francisco Giants. Lincecum was on the mound in that game against the Reds, I think.
He was.
In foul ground, Rizzo stays with it. You can see the wind pushing that ball over near the Reds bullpen area. Rizzo stayed with it. That would mean Lincecum has been on the mound during 3 no-hitters. 2 that he threw, 1 that was thrown against him. Here's Schumacher, who struck out his first time. Skip now 1 for his last 13. Let's have a couple of hitters, Heisey, Schumacher, and Cozart, that are going through. Actually, you can throw Votto in there too. He's walked twice in this game. He came in 1 for his last 11. Heisey's now 1 for his last 19. Schumacher 1 for his last 13. Cozart 1 for his last 15. So a couple of guys scuffling a little bit right now. The other way to left field. That's going to be over the head of the left fielder, Sweeney. 1 hop the wall. Schumacher's going to make it into second with a 1-out double, and that's the go-ahead run for the Reds here in the 5th.
I think it was Schumacher that hit that ball hard down, just foul down the left field line last time he was up. This time he hits it hard again. It sounds great coming off the bat. And because Ryan Sweeney thinks he's got a left-hander up there that's not going to poke it very far opposite field, and the wind is blowing in, he plays Schumacher way in. That ball burns him, and Reds have a go-ahead runner there in scoring position.
Here's Cozart, popped up his first time. Started the day at 2:30. Pitcher Latos waits on deck.
Never bunt here, not with the pitcher on deck. You want to get him to over to third base, there's no doubt about it, but you like to do that by taking a chance, maybe picking up a base hit and scoring the runner at the same time. Now, if you're, say, number 2 in the order, or somewhere else where you have, say, Frazier coming up, or Votto coming up, Mesoraco, somebody like that, then you'd be more inclined to bunt.
Latos waiting on deck. He's a big enough guy. He gets hold of a ball, go a long way. Run on both sides in this game. Cubs have 4 hits. Reds have 3. And now Kozar's going to get a look at a 3-1 pitch. Despite that, might not get much to hit here, as we mentioned, with Latos on deck.
I don't know. I'd be inclined to kind of go after Kozar here and then go after Latos rather than walk Kozar. Have first and second, have it lay out perfectly for Latos to lay a bunt, advance him, and then you turn the lineup over. You got to go after him right here, and he doesn't. How about that?
He walks his third. Kozar joins Schumacher on the bases. Now let's see if things unfold the way Chris just talked about. Celebrate 4th of July weekend with family and friends at Great American Ballpark. See your Reds take on the Brewers for only $12. Don't miss a spectacular fireworks show, giveaways, and much more. Purchase your tickets today by calling 513-381-REDS. You can also go to select Kroger locations, or you can go to reds.com/tickets. Reds to be home against that Milwaukee club. That's the next home game after the conclusion of this road trip. Giants coming up this weekend. Padres early next week. And the 4th through the 6th. Brewers in town, Great American Ballpark. Here's Latos. Looking for his first bunt of the year, and he bunts this one foul.
Well, the good news is that you have decent speed on the base paths right here. Especially the lead runner there was Skip Schumacher. It's a forced play at third, and what the Cubs did that time is they simply charged the first baseman Rizzo and the pitcher, and the third baseman Valbuena just stayed there. So if Latos just lays it down here on this side of the infield, he's going to have a successful stolen or a sacrifice. Here comes Rizzo again.
Latos had 6 sacrifices last year, 10 2 years ago in his first year with the Reds.
You may say, well, why doesn't he butcher boy? But really the play right here is to bunt to the left side. No matter how hard Rizzo charges, he can't field that ball. Meanwhile, Jackson's got to deliver a strike, right?
And the way Hamilton is swinging the bat, you'd love to have runners at second and third versus first and second. We saw the Butcher Boy play earlier this season at home against Toronto. Showing bunt, bunting it to the mound. Jackson's going to spin and fire to third. They get the out. Got the bunt down, but in the wrong spot. Hard and right back to Jackson. He did the 360 and fired a strike to Valbuena.
A pretty basic play right there. Jackson comes right up to shoot. Anything on the right side goes to Rizzo, the first baseman. Anything down the third base line is a successful sacrifice. So they get the lead runner. Not only that, but Latos has to run the bases.
So now it's Kozart out at second base with 2 men out. Billy Hamilton is 0 for 2. Twice has hit the ball in the air. Once to right, once to left. Jackson throws his 70th pitch of the game here in the 5th. It's ball 1 low. Jackson's worst innings of the year this year has been the first and the second. He got through those relatively easily with only the 1 run. Billy trying to keep that hitting streak going. It is the current longest in the National League. Jackson have a hard time throwing strikes here in this inning. Pulls it to the second baseman, and Barney will throw him out, and Jackson wiggles off the hook, 2 on with 1 out, and the Reds fail to score. Middle of the 5th, 1-1 game. To the ballpark and see the Reds take on the Milwaukee Brewers for only $12. First 8,000 kids 14 and younger will receive a Reds survival bracelet thanks to Meyer. Catch all the action on Sunday, July the 5th for only $12. For tickets, 513-381-REDS. You can also visit select Kroger locations, or you can go to reds.com/tickets. Along with Chris Welsh, Jim Kelch here at Wrigley Field, Chicago, where the Reds and the Cubs are deadlocked 1-1 into the bottom of the 5th inning. Barney will lead it off, then the pitcher spot, then the top of the order. So 8, 9, and 1 here in the home 5th. A base hit his first time. Now hitting 6 of his last 7 games. Came in at 199. 204 now. Waited on that breaking ball, hits it to short. Cozart will throw him out, and the leadoff man gone. Here's Edwin Jackson trying to bunt, fouled one with 2 strikes his first time, a strikeout victim. Matos, no walks, 2 strikeouts in the game. He's given up 4 hits. 2 now. Had pitching matchups. Good ones in all 3 games of this series. Low scoring. Monday until the 9th inning on the 5-run inning. That was a 1-1 game into the 9th. Yesterday was 2-0 after 5. Ended up 7-3 Cubs. Here tonight, 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Jeff Samardzija was on the mound on Monday. Arrieta yesterday. Now strike 3 to Jackson.
And then, of course, looking ahead to that 4-game series the Reds have in San Francisco. Reds will see Mike Leake and Ryan Vogelsong, and then Johnny Cueto and Madison Bumgarner. That is a matchup of 2 top pitchers right there. Alfredo Simon gets Matt Cain. Cain, believe it or not, is 1-6 on the year. And Homer Bailey on Sunday, before the Reds will head down to San Diego, will take on Tim Hudson, who got beat up pretty good last night for the 2nd time in a row. The Giants have really been struggling. Now, you don't know if this no-hitter that Lincecum threw tonight may jumpstart them one way or another, but they have really dropped back.
They had at one point a 9.5 game lead in the West Division. It started today at 3 over the Dodgers.
Yeah, they're 2-8 in their last 10. Dodgers are 7-3.
Don Mattingly was quoted in the paper USA Today yesterday as saying he thinks he's seeing the same kind of turnaround with this Dodger club now that he could feel last year. Now, whether they're going to go 42-8 over a 50-game span, probably not. He feels them coming together. Set the side down in order in the 1st and the 2nd. Had a 4-batter 3rd. Gave up a run on 3 hits in the 4th. Gotten the first 2 here in the 5th. Sweeney waits on deck. Junior Lake, who's grounded out twice, we're going to look at a 3-2 pitch.
You know, to continue a little discussion about the Giants, that they played through a part of their schedule that saw them play 3 games against the Rockies, 2 against the White Sox, and 3 more against the Diamondbacks. And the Rockies and Diamondbacks had really been struggling, but over that period of time, they went, I think, 3-8. Now they've got to play the Reds, the Cardinals, Padres, and then take on the Oakland A's. So it is going to be tough going here for the Giants. Maybe the Reds can make it especially tough.
Fairfax, Ohio. I'm Jim Day, out here amongst the bleacher creatures, and indeed, look who I found, the Cincinnati West Stars Little League team, a 12-year-old team here from Cincinnati. They are coached by Jeff Butler, who's a Cincinnati police officer, and tell us why you're here, man.
Well, Jim, we're here to watch the Reds win, and we're celebrating the birthday of our second-best player, Zach Smith, but more importantly, teaching the kids about good things in life and watching Reds baseball.
How you guys like Wrigley? You like it here? All right, salute the camera. Say hi to Cincinnati out there, everyone. There we go. All right, having fun amongst the bleacher creatures, boys.
Amongst your people out there, Jim Day.
My peeps, my people.
The West Stars, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? Get a group of Cincinnati young ball players coming out to Wrigley Field, sitting in the bleachers. Jim Day gets them on TV. Nice.
And they are in an area, Todd Frazier at the plate, where they could easily be in home run souvenir territory. Right out there in left center field. Frazier leading it off. Base hit his first time, hit the ball hard, but out to Lake his second time up, back in the third. He leads it off here in the sixth. A run on 3 hits for the Reds, a run on 4 hits for the Cubs. Good pitching on both sides. This is already the third time this year the Reds have seen Edwin Jackson. He was the winner in both games. Here on the 19th of April in an 8-4 Cubs win, and then in Cincinnati on the 30th of April in a 9-4 victory. But in neither game did he get through the 6th inning. In fact, you look at his starts this year, he doesn't go very deep into games at all. Working here in the 6th. He's made 15 starts this year, and only 6 times has he been able to get through the 6th inning. And he walks Frazier to get things going. A good start for the Reds with the leadoff man on. 4th walk by Jackson.
Well, you can see why Edwin Jackson runs his pitch counts up. I mean, he'll take the ball as starter, but he doesn't take you deep into games, as you said, Jim, all that many times. Most he has thrown as far as pitches in a game this year is right around the 115 mark. Really tonight for Jackson, 78 pitches, and after 5 innings, not all that bad, really. He wants to pick somebody else off.
He had the pick off of Mesoraco, call safe, and then challenged and overturned by the umpires. Votto has walked twice in this game, 4 times in the series. The difference, though, between, we were talking earlier about Votto and Rizzo, and Votto was praising the way Rizzo has come along in his couple of years with the Cubs after being a Padre initially. Votto embraces the walk and the sabermetric side of the game. Anthony Rizzo does not. Rizzo was quoted as saying, "I don't take pride in walking. I don't want to walk." We're talking about 2 different approaches to the game.
And that was evidenced by the home run that he hit off of Alfredo Simon the other night that had to be almost a foot outside.
Went up and got that thing and did a heck of a job with it.
I think maybe the sneak attacks by Todd Frazier will be tougher and tougher to get. The more stolen bases he has where he just kind of sneaks off first base and nobody really pays attention to him, You know, once that gets into the scouting books, they start looking at you over there a little bit more, and they make you stop. And that's the biggest thing. Jackson overall has been pretty easy to steal on. Coming into this ball game, he gave up 9 stolen bases. They had only thrown out 1. He's given up a stolen base and picked somebody off. Picked Mesoraco off first base.
Votto ahead 2-1. Mesoraco on deck. Whatever you're doing around the house or wherever you may be watching, get it done in a second here because Mez is coming up. Looking into the Cubs dugout for an extended time here after that 3-1 pitch.
Votto wanted Steve Smith to go through the signs one more time to see if they gave the green light to Todd Frazier over there on a 3-1 count.
Todd is on the move, and Votto shoots it down the left field line. That's a fair ball, and into the corner. Now it bounces away from Sweeney. Frazier will score. Votto has himself an RBI double, and the Reds have jumped back in front 2-1 here in the 6th inning.
Now, Votto doesn't like to walk. He just doesn't want to swing at pitches that aren't strikes. And that is a 3-1 fastball, and he's going to take it the other way and almost guided it down the line right there. Ball bounces by the left fielder Sweeney. Frazier on the move, comes all the way around. So the Frazier-Votto duo put the Reds ahead here in the 6th inning.
14th double of the year for Joey. His first RBI of this series. Here's Mesoraco. Eyes on him all over Reds country as he lines this ball into left center field. Votto will go to third. He had to. Oh, now Mesoraco went way off first base with nobody over there. Rizzo cut the ball off behind the mound, and Devin has to hustle back to the bag.
Oh, I love that about Mesoraco, though. He knew there was nobody covering him at first base. He went more than halfway to second until he figured the angle would do him wrong. And he was going to take a chance right there that if they fell asleep or bobbled that ball anywhere, that he was going to end up on second. There he goes, thinking about, I'm going to go to second base right here. Then Rizzo cut it off, and the only thing he could do is kind of run him back right there.
The reason that did not produce a run is Joey was going back towards second base when that ball was initially hit. By that time, he could only advance to third. First and third, a run in, nobody out for Bruce. Reds in front 2-1. Jay has hit the ball hard both times up tonight. Doubled into the right field corner, drove in the Reds' first run, and lined out to left in the 4th. James Russell, left-hander, starts to throw now in the Cubs bullpen. That swing inning for Jackson. He's had trouble getting through this inning all year. There's Russell. Jackson approaching 90 now at 88 pitches. Still has not gotten out in this inning. Heisey on deck.
Bruce has hit it good twice.
Big part of the Reds' order, trying to produce more than just the one run thus far. Did he go? Did not. Full count.
Here's how much the sixth inning has defined Edwin Jackson. This year coming into the ballgame, he had faced 368 batters total. Only 11 of those in the seventh inning or later. So he is your main man when it comes to being a sixth inning pitcher.
Votto at third, Mesoraco at first. Nobody out and a run in. Staying alive is Bruce. Significant that he has struck out 6 times in this series. 3 times Monday, 3 more times yesterday. Nothing so far today out of him in terms of the K. Knows that he will go back out there in the bottom of the 6th with a lead with which to work. The question is, how big will it be? Off the glove of the third baseman Valbuena into shallow left field. Votto will score. Mesoraco hustles over to third, and into second is Bruce. He's got his second hit, second double of this game. He goes the other way for the second straight at bat. Reds get another one and now lead 3-1.
Well, he's hit it hard for the third straight at bat. That mean that he's coming out of it a little bit. High fives in the dugout. The Reds get a 3-1 lead. And finally a fastball after several breaking balls in a row. Jackson's got to come in there with a heater because he has to throw a strike. And Bruce is all over it. Well, the Reds have done a good job tonight, just kind of wearing Jackson down, not swinging at too many pitches that are out of the zone. There's a guy that came in averaging about a strikeout per inning, and he only has 1 strikeout all night long.
Total pitches now.
And that first inning, this inning, and last inning are the ones that have run that count up there. He averages 17 pitches per inning. That is in the top 10 in the major leagues as far as most pitches per inning.
Still nobody out. Heisey tonight is grounded out and fouled out. Has 6 hits in the game, 4 doubles, 2 of those by Bruce. Bruce has extended his hitting streak to 6. Mesoraco his to 8. Billy Hamilton still sitting at his 12 gamer. He's 0 for 3. June 1st and then after. What a big time difference right there. Very good road trip in that area. Good against Toronto lately in that area.
You know, as bad as it was prior to June 1st and as good as it has been since, it's not going to stay at 331 the rest of the year. You're always going to kind of trend back to that average. But you might as well ride it while you're doing it.
you quoting earlier the gentleman with the baseball reference book or the lingo book? What was that?
I think it was Paul. Is it Paul Dickinson? Paul Dixon. Now that's all on Twitter, courtesy of Mr. Redlegs, at Mr. Redlegs. So he checked with his old friend, the author of that book. It said that Kent Greenweaver got the story right about the pitching board.
Thanks for the information, Green, and thanks for verifying it, Mr. Redlegs.
Now, I think finally the guys at Red Reporter got it right. Supposedly, somebody tweeted me that too, or they texted me that to let me know that, but it's a little short on time.
Rick Renteria out of the dugout. He wore the proverbial path between the mound and the dugout last night, making 3 pitching changes in 1 inning. He'll take the ball from Edwin Jackson, who will get but 5 1/3 innings in this game. As the Cubs starter, he leaves. The lefty James Russell will come on. This is our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Beginning with the Rangers at home to take on the Twins on Fox Sports 1. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox as Yadier Molina and the Cardinals take on Yasiel Puig and the Dodgers. Our MLB doubleheader begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1, then continues at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Cubs make the pitching change, bringing the lefty Russell to face the left-handed swinging Schumacher.
Yeah, we saw James Russell last night for just 1/3 of an inning. He came in to face Jay Bruce, got a strikeout. He has faced Schumacher before. Schumacher, of course, spent some time with the Cardinals. Overall, Schumacher 2 for 9 in his appearances against James Russell. Now 32 games for Russell.
Schumacher a double into the left field corner his last time. One out in the inning, 2 in, runners at second and third. Cubs infield is in. Skip Schumacher trying to deliver a telling blow here in the 6th. Squeeze is on. Bunt toward the third base side of the mound. Schumacher is thrown out at first. A run scores. For the second time in this series, the Reds attempt the squeeze. This time it works. Put down by Schumacher, and it has been a 3-run inning, and it is now 4-1 in favor of the Reds as they execute the squeeze for the first time successfully this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, when this play works right, it is nothing better than that. The interesting thing here, if Jay Bruce keeps running and doesn't hesitate at all, the Reds could have gotten 2 runs on the squeeze, the old double suicide, but this time they will get 1. Nice play by the shortstop Castro as he comes a long way to finally get to that ball. The key is don't start too early from third base. Get the bunt on the ground. Reds did it. They push another run in, 4-1.
Give an RBI to Schumacher, his 12th of the year. He is out 6-3 at first base. Both runners moving up. Now the intentional walk is given to Cozart, and Latos will come to the plate with the runners at the corners and 2 men out. Not only does Schumacher get the run batted in, but he is not charged with an AB. It goes as a sacrifice and a run batted in. It's been a 3-run 6th inning. Here's Latos. Run charge to the starter Jackson. Latos is grounded out and bunted back to the mound, attempting to move the runners along in the 5th inning. Reds trying to win. Jim Day talked about it earlier. Their 4th consecutive series. Won the 2 series on the road trip at Milwaukee, at Pittsburgh. Won the series at home against Toronto. To win their 4th in a row here, and if they can get it done, they would be 5-0-1 in their last 6 series, with that 1 split coming at home against the Dodgers. In the air to center, Lake coming on, Barney going out, and it's the right fielder Shearholtz who makes the catch to retire the side. The squeeze, a thing of beauty. Look at it again as we go out. 4-1 Reds. Minnesota, as the captain Derek Jeter takes the field in his last All-Star game ever in what promises to be an emotional and unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 4:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star game at 7:30 on Fox. Hard to believe we're already that close to the All-Star game. You can keep on voting at Reds.com for the All-Star starting lineup. Vote for your favorite Reds players through July the 3rd. We've talked a lot about the fact we believe Todd Frazier should be a member of the All-Star team, and maybe in the home run derby. Devin Mesoraco, he's He's having an all-star type first half as well. Rocco in the game has had 3 at-bats. 1 hit in 3 times. Figures to get at least 1 more AB. In search of that 6th home run in 6 games. Anthony Rizzo, well, that's second in this inning. It's lefty Sweeney, lefty Rizzo, righty Castro against Matt Latos, who has walked no one. He has struck out 4 and now owns a 3-run lead. Line on Edwin Jackson of the Cubs. He gives up 4 runs, all earned, 6 hits. In 5 1/3 innings, he walks 4, strikes out 2, throws 95 pitches. Excuse me, swing by Sweeney, and he's thrown out by Frazier for the first out here in the home 6.
You know, if you notice the way that Matt Latos goes after most left-handed hitters, and right-handers for that matter too, but I mean mainly left-handers, is that he just tries to go right inside. I mean, he challenges them right in on their hands all night. When he misses off the plate, not over the center of the plate normally. And that's something he learned a long time ago, is how to control that first base side of home plate. Works well against right-handers, but if you get it in there, you can jam most lefties.
First pitch swinging in the air. It'll stay in the ballpark. Heisey to his left handles it. 2 out. So far tonight, Rizzo popped up, rolled out to the right side, lied out. He's 0 for 3. Latos had a decent stretch on the bench in the 6th inning. 8 men came to the plate for the Reds, and now here he is with what, a 3-pitch inning thus far. 4-pitch inning. It's Starlin Castro with 2 out and the bases clear. He drove in the Cubs run back in the 4th. A ball that just did elude the glove of Latos on into center. Matt quickly had 2 strikes. Up the middle again. Gets around the glove of Latos. Castro has his 2nd hit.
Same spot. He was the one that drove in the run there, where the bouncer went right through the box and over the right shoulder of Matt Latos. Worked so well the first time, why not try it again?
Continues to pile up the good numbers here in the month of June. He's over 300 for the month and has 2 hits tonight. Here's Valbuena. He gets most of the playing time down at third base. Mike Holt, we saw him last night. Leads all National League rookies with 10 home runs, but his penchant for the strikeout really hurts the Cubs when he's in there. Right center. Billy Hamilton is there. He'll make the catch. And a relatively easy 6th inning turned in by Latos. A 0 on the board. tonight's game. Started in the first inning. Jay Bruce ripped this ball into the right field corner, scoring Frazier, giving the Reds a 1-0 lead. Almost 2-0, but Votto was gunned down on a terrific throw by Darwin Barney. Castro bumps this ball up the middle of the fourth inning that scored Sweeney to tie the game at 1, and then the Reds scored 3 times in the 6th inning. The RBI by Votto, the double into the corner. This one the other way by Jay Bruce turned out to be a double that played at Votto. Then the squeeze bunt by Schumacher brings home Mesoraco, a 3-run 6th inning. That's where we stand now into the 7th, a 4-1 Reds lead. That was our Honda game summary. Billy Hamilton will lead it off. I mentioned he was the other Red who had attempted the squeeze this year. It was actually in the Toronto series in which he did that on Saturday. He was unsuccessful with a foul ball. Here tonight, Schumacher executes with Mesoraco scoring. Billy tonight 0 for 3. Looking to extend the 12-game hitting streak. He'll get this one in the air to shallow left. Long way out, Castro. And the Cubs shortstop stays with it. Billy today 0 for 4. And the first out of the 7th. We'll bring to the plate Todd Frazier. Mentioned earlier, the Tampa Bay Rays, they defeated the Pirates today 5-1 after those two yesterday played to a 6-5 Pirate win. Reds win here, hang on, they can jump past that Pirates team. 16 innings last night between the Nationals and Milwaukee. Nationals won it 4-2. The Brewers bounced back today with a 9-2 win over Washington. Today, the Cardinals a 9-6 winner over Colorado. The best the Reds could do today, get back over 500 by a game and leapfrog the Pirates back into 3rd place.
A lot of articles written in the St. Louis papers recently about what the Cardinals may do as far as changing their strategy towards the trade deadline. Of course, they have Michael Wacha on the disabled list. Very fine right-handed pitcher. You know about him. And he, of course, was a hero in the postseason last year. Shoulder problem. They're not sure when he will be back. They've got Jaime Garcia on the disabled list. A couple of other, I think, are nicked and bruised. And
I read today that they sent Joe Kelly down to their AAA team. Cardinal pitching staff looking nothing like they thought it would come the middle part of the season. I should say they didn't send him down. Joe Kelly went on the 60-day DL.
60-day. Okay.
They optioned Pete Cosma, who a couple of years ago they thought was going to be their next great thing at shortstop. They optioned him down to their AAA club. Frazier a strikeout victim. And here's Votto with the bases clear. Center by Votto, easy for Junior late. 3rd time in this game. The Reds go down in order. Stretch time here in Chicago. brought to you by Chevy. Visit your Tri-State Chevy dealer today. And by Cincinnati Children's Hospital, who ranks 3rd in the country on U.S. News and World Report's 2014 Best Children's Hospitals. Remember to stay with us after the game and after every Reds game here on Fox Sports Ohio. We'll break it down for you. Get the first words from the skipper, Brian Price. It's all part of Reds Live postgame, brought to you by Performance Kings Honda. And Latos back to work here as he goes into the 7th. He went 6 in that first outing. Did not make it through the 6th inning in his last time on the hill against Toronto. Now he'll work into the 7th here, having allowed 1 run and 5 hits. There is action in both bullpens. Logan Ondrusek up and throwing in the Reds pen, and Justin Grimm throwing in the Cubs pen. Grimm was one of 5 relievers out there for Chicago last night. Remember, 4 of them in 1 inning. Nate Shearholtz leads it off. 97 pitches at this point in time for Latos. Shearholtz helps him out. First pitch swinging and a pop-up into shallow right, which is handled by Schumacher.
Yeah, and another pitch right in on the hands of a left-handed hitter. I mean, he has been living in their kitchen all night long.
1 pitch, 1 out. The batter now the catcher, John Baker. Baker tonight has grounded out and popped up 0 for 2. Chris was talking earlier about the fact that the Cubs loaded their lineup today with left-handers based on the fact that Latos this year, albeit only 2 starts, lefties had hit .333 against him, but his career numbers against lefties much better than that, down in the .240 range. Cubs lefties in this game now 2 out of 14. He rings him up on a breaking ball that was on the outside part of the plate. Strikeout number 5 for Latos.
This is really impressive for Matt Latos tonight because I keep going back to the fact that he doesn't have that normal fastball, but he's been able to spot what he needs. He stayed away from the middle part of the zone. And he does that just enough to keep guys honest.
Here he is, an out away from getting through the 7th. He's sitting at 103 pitches. He's had 1 inning in which he really has had to labor, and that was that 4th. 1, 2, 3 in the 1st and 2nd, a 4-batter 3rd. Gave up the run on 3 hits in the 4th. 1, 2, 3 5th, a 4-batter 6th. First 2 here in the 7th. Ondrusek continues to throw in the bullpen. Chris Coughlin, meanwhile, has come out of the Cubs dugout. He's on deck to bat for Russell. And Justin Grimm, a right-hander, appears to be the new Cubs pitcher come the 8th. Down the line, and Frazier. Perfect throw across the diamond. 4th 1, 2, 3 inning of the game. Very good outing tonight from Matt Latos. In terms of a home run tonight, of course, he's hit 5 home runs in the last 5 games he has played, tying a franchise record. A big one in Pittsburgh, this one against Toronto, this one on Saturday against the Blue Jays into victory, and then grand slam in the 9th inning here on Monday in Chicago. This one in the 9th inning last night. He is our steel power tool performer of the game, Devin Mesoraco. 16 home runs total between 2011 and 2013, and this year 14 of them. And look at that home run per at bat this year. Doesn't qualify because he doesn't have the correct number of at bats to get into the on the list in the National League, but 10.7, one every 10.7 times up.
Well, he will by the time the end of the season rolls around, but because he spent some time on the disabled list, they make that qualification number based on the number of at-bats per number of games your team plays. I think, what do you need, three at-bats per,
I think it's 3.1
game, 3.1
like
per
that.
game.
Having a hit tonight is 1 for 3. He went around and he's at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And we're going to show you now what a lot of teams track as to where the guy hits the baseball. These are the hits, the home runs anyway, that he's hit. You see the 13 home runs to left, 1 to center field, but most of his base hits are to left field. But it's interesting to watch Devin Mesoraco take batting practice. When he takes batting practice, he tries to hit the ball to right field, swing after swing after swing. Rarely do you see him, except in the very last round, really get up there and pull the ball. Talking to Don Long about that, he said, you know, that swing that he tries to groove in batting practice to hit the ball to right field keeps his front shoulder in just enough that he becomes a weapon that he still pulls the ball in the game, but practicing hitting it to right field helps him.
Well, there's a 3-2 here, and what more likely than not is his last at bat of this game if things stay the way they are.
I guess the way you can look at it is that he practices technique in batting practice, but then just attacks the baseball during the game.
It's a good word to use for his at bats because that's exactly what it looks like. He attacks the ball.
Look at that swing.
I mean, he goes after it. He is called out on strikes here to start the top of the 8th inning against the new pitcher, Justin Grimm. Will be Jay Bruce. Andrusik was up and throwing earlier in the Reds pen. Now it is Jonathan Broxton down that way. Lato's 106 pitches through 7 here tonight. Wrapping up this visit to Chicago, the Reds will be back here one more time. That is in September, Monday the 15th through Wednesday the 17th, and they'll play 3 more night games here. You come up and you have mostly day games with a night game thrown in. This is the Reds' 3rd 3-game series at Wrigley Field that has featured all night games. The last coming in 2007. Been a long time. Rizzo handles this ball by Bruce, and there are 2 out. Jay tonight 2 for 4. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and no strikeouts. Good to see from him. Solid contact all 4 times up.
Yeah, sounded good every time he's come to the plate.
And now it's Heisey, who's 0 for 3. The last batter to face the starter, Edwin Jackson. He struck out, and then Rick Renteria came out, made the change, brought James Russell in to face Schumacher, who's on deck now, and of course it was Schumacher who laid down the squeeze bunt. Now joining Broxton again in the bullpen is Andrusik. First Logan was up, and he sat down, and Broxton got up. Now Andrusik gets up a second time. Grim underhands this ball on to first. Heisey is out, and the Reds go in order. Middle of the 8th here at Wrigley. Latos and the Reds up 4-1.
All about Matt Latos, and he was dealing it on the corners, whether it was a curveball like that or whether he had fastballs down and away. He was working on the outside. Had only had really 1 inning in which he had to work a sweat up out there. That was the 4th inning, the only run in which he gave a run up. 7 innings overall for Matt Latos. 1 run, did not walk a batter, struck out 5. Nice outing for number 55.
He is in line to get his first victory of the year, and if he gets it, it would be for him as a Red, his 29th. He wins. The Reds win about 65% of the games in which he has pitched for them in this his 3rd year. Broxton takes over, and he gets Chris Coughlin to bat for Grimm. Coughlin has been in the leadoff spot and in left field the first 2 games of the series. Win a collective 0 for 8. Worked in the game here on Monday night. Had a 1-2-3 inning. Retired Coughlin on a comebacker to the mound. He ended up being the winner in that game. He's 3-0. No walks for Latos tonight, so he's walked 3 in 18 2/3 this year. Amazing, having missed all the time that he did, that he is so sharp. terms of his control.
Well, I think he just kind of willed himself to do it. He realized last time out was for him was unacceptable. Coming out after about 5 1/3 innings against the Blue Jays. Believe me, when you're on the DL and you see your team out there and you're depended upon to be one of the main guys, you feel like you owe it to them. I think he really takes that chip out on the mound with him. And he's done it twice in 3 starts. Pretty good outing tonight for him, and really good start so far for Broxton. I mean, he has just put 2 fastballs down on the corner, goes up and away, and that is our flamethrower tonight, brought to you by Cholula hot sauce at 94 miles an hour. Oh, look now, but little by little, Jonathan Broxton's velocity is coming up there a little bit.
He's put up numbers-wise to be considered as an all-star this year.
Yes, he has.
Top of the order now in Junior Lake with 1 out. Lake has grounded out twice and struck out. In the series, 1 out of 6. Carlos Villanueva is up and throwing in the Cubs bullpen. Lake will be the second out of the inning on this shallow fly ball that Heisey handles. And 2 men out. Since the Cubs threatened in the 4th and scored their run and left 2 on, it had been 1 base runner. 11 of the next 12 have been retired. Now with 2 out in the 8th, it's Ryan Sweeney. By and large, what we thought we were seeing out of the numbers of this Cubs team coming into this series is what in fact we have seen. Good pitching, and for the most part not much hitting. Villanueva. Jonathan, a deliberate worker. Back of the mound he goes. Rosin bag. Now finally back up on the hill. And now Sweeney steps out. Tomorrow night from AT&T Park in San Francisco. One of the more beautiful venues around the league. To the mound in Broxton. On to Votto. And Broxton, like Latos, has a 1-2-3 inning. We are through 8 here at Wrigley. For every slam, every goal, and every game with America's pregame only on Fox Sports 1. Tune in to America's pregame weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports Go. How about our John Morrell hot dog play of the game? Top of the 6th inning. Let's get Schumacher at the plate. Squeeze bunt. He's thrown out at first, but he lays it down perfectly. Mesoraco streaks across. Reds get another run there. That was the final run of the 6th inning. Made it 4-1 Reds. Schumacher leads things off here. His squeeze bunt, our John Morrell hot dog play of the game.
He actually had a chance to pick up 2 runs batted in on that had Jay Bruce simply kept running around third. It would have been a little bit of base running daring do, but it would have been something to brag about if it worked.
Billy Hamilton had been out there. He'd probably kept going.
He definitely would have, but you know, it all depends on being able to lay that bunt down on the left side of the infield, and whoever fields it, whether it's a shortstop, a pitcher, or even a third baseman, they're not even thinking about that guy from second base. They're just going to fire it over to first to get the sure out. And meanwhile, that second runner just glides right on home.
$28,207 here at Wrigley Field tonight. 28,207 is Villanueva, the 4th pitcher used by the Cubs this evening. Edwin Jackson, the pitcher of record, 4 runs in 5 1/3. James Russell, 1 2/3 shutout relief. Justin Grimm in 1 2 3/8. Now Villanueva. Cozart on deck, and then the pitcher spot. Schumacher lays into this ball into right center field, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Scherholz and the center fielder Lake come together, and Lake gets it back in, but Schumacher gets his 2nd double of the night, and 5 doubles now in this game for the Reds.
Well, he finally gets an off-speed pitch. Looks like a changeup right there that Villanueva wanted to get it on the outer part of the plate, left it right down El Centro. A couple of hops into the ivy, and Reds now have a chance to add 1 more on the board.
If they do so, they will get it out of save territory for Aroldis Chapman, who is throwing in the bullpen. Those are 0 for 1 with a pair of walks, 1 intentional tonight.
Chapman has not pitched in this series, and you wonder if they may get him an inning in here regardless, just to get him a little tune-up work.
Here's the closer of the Reds. Ludwig has come out, and he's on deck for the pitcher spot.
Are thinking right field here.
To the shortstop, and they get an out on the line drive. Take a look at tonight's AT&T fan photo of the game, reminding you to keep tweeting those photos using hashtag #OhioFanPhoto. Tonight it's Brett taking a little snooze at Noonan Brett. Our fan photo of the game. That Reds fan is worn out. 2-week-old right there. That's a cutie right there, Brett. AT&T fan photo of the game. Here's Ludwig. He'll bat for Broxton, who has a 1-2-3-8.
Here you go.
Ludwig hitting .270. 5 home runs. He's driven in 23. 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter this year. Started the first 2 games of this series out in left. 0 for 8 in the series. A nice job here at Wrigley Field. Plus 300 hitter. Watching the games here during this series at Wrigley, you may have noticed the brick wall, the ivy-covered brick wall out in left field looks a little bit different than it normally does. We'll try to get a shot of that and show you what we're talking about. Here it is. The ivy is not all the way up on the wall here. And you can notice a little bit of different color. You see it on the right, the brick, and now this is a new brick. A new brick wall had to be put up after 100 plus years. The wall started to deteriorate in the winter, and so they had to put up a new brick wall out there in left, regrow the ivy, which is not quite all the way up to the top as it is all the way around the ballpark.
What did they do with the old brick?
That's a question I don't have an answer to.
I would imagine it was authenticated and
see how it goes up.
Was already sold or is sitting in a warehouse to be placed on eBay sometime at a later date.
That ivy goes all the way up to the basket, all the way around the ballpark until it comes over to the left field corner, where it hasn't quite grown all the way back yet. Ludwig, a strikeout victim here of Villanueva. Second out of the inning. So here comes Billy Hamilton with a last crack, it would appear, to keep his hitting streak going. He's flied out to right, to left, grounded out to second, popped up to short. 0 for 4. Last time he went hitless was on the 9th of June against the Dodgers. into center for Junior Lake, and the inning is over. Chapman will come on. Bottom of the ninth, 4-1 Reds. Great American Ballpark. See your Reds take on the Milwaukee Brewers for only $12. Don't miss a spectacular fireworks show, giveaways, and much more. Get your tickets. Call 513-381-REDS. Visit select Kroger locations or go to reds.com/tickets. Chapman comes on to try to save this game. The last time we saw him was on Military Appreciation Day at Great American Ballpark on Sunday against Toronto. We found Eric Kratz to start the inning. We got Navarro with the second out. He gets Kawasaki to end it. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. Save number 13 that game in the game on Sunday. Very happy catcher there. Brian Pena. The Reds won that one 4-3. And so here's Chapman tonight. List of the most consecutive appearances with a strikeout. Bruce Sutter, a former Cub, the all-time leader with 39. Chapman bearing down. He's at 31.
I mean, wouldn't you think that's a cinch for Chapman?
I would. Yeah.
I mean, just based on his numbers right now, 20 innings, 41 strikeouts. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, they'll get Anthony Rizzo, left-handed batter, to lead things off.
Wasted no time to hit 100 with the first one there.
That one spins him around. One for 9 with 4 Ks lifetime for Rizzo. For the 3rd straight pitch. This one called a strike. And a full count. Like it went right under the glove of Chapman there. Cozart will make the play.
That's a nice comeback right there, because you don't want to walk the leadoff hitter even with a 3-run lead. You end up throwing more pitches than you would normally want to throw. You never know what can happen. And he bounce right back from that 3-0 count to make it 3-2 and then get an easy ground ball. Very democratic of him to let Kozar make that play.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to make it himself. Chapman has never blown a save against the Cubs. 11 for 11 in his career. Looking for his 14th overall. Save leader in the National League going into action tonight. Francisco Rodriguez of Milwaukee with 25. Kenley Jansen of the Dodgers 23. Justin Ruggiano is on deck to bat for Valbuena. Chapman trying to save it for Latos. Reds trying to hang a loss on Edwin Jackson. Trying to win this series 2 out of 3. Trying to win their 4th straight series. Back-to-back strikeout. Pardon me, strikeout here means 32 straight outings now for Chapman with a strikeout.
His favorite pitch. High gas.
Ruggiano bats for Valbuena here in the 9th inning. Mike Olt is on deck to bat for Nate Shearholtz. Ruggiano's only hit against Chapman a home run. Started here Monday, was 0 for 4. Bats with 2 men out. Now he'll get a look at a full count pitch. He's trying to go back above the 500 mark. Reclaim 3rd place. Hit to right. Bruce going back near the wall. Gone. No, it's in play. That ball bounced above the basket out there. Here comes the manager of the Cubs, Rick Renteria. That ball appeared to bounce above the basket and back onto the field. C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire. This is a review that doesn't fall under the new review rules. This
the old review rules.
The old review rules. Well, it's definitely above the basket. Bounced on the top of that wall, appeared and came back.
Shouldn't take him too long.
No, I was thinking the same thing. Again, this is not a team challenge or an umpire review. It's simply under the old rules that you can review a home run ball if asked by the team.
I'll take another look at this. At the very end of this play, it looks like it hits the top of the wall and bounces over. Or did it hit that?
hit that green area.
Those three umpires think that it's a home run. They're dressed in the wrong color blue.
So that'll be a double for Ruggiano, who's 2 for 4 lifetime against Chapman and almost picked up the second home run. Now Mike Olt bats for Shearholtz.
I think one thing about Ruggiano, we've talked about it seemingly every time he comes to the plate. The guy can hit a high fastball.
Now Nate Shearholtz is lifted for Olt. Well, that almost became the first ever home run by a Cub against Chapman. It never hit the long ball against him. Olt started in the game here last night, was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Tying run is on deck. Olt in the hole 1 and 2. Got him on strikes. Reds win 2 out of 3 here in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Back above the 500 mark at 39 and 38. Big night offensively for Jay Bruce with a couple of doubles, couple of RBIs. And the victor is Matt Latos, his first decision of the year. Nice squeeze bunt by Skip Schumacher. Save goes to Chapman, number 14. Good bounce back win for the Reds here tonight as they are triumphant by the score of 4-1 over the Cubs. With that win, Cubs now have the Reds have now won 8 consecutive road series here against the Cubs. We were talking about into this series how well they have done. They've now won 19 of the last 22 games here at Wrigley against the Cubs, and 8 straight series wins against this Chicago team. Take a look at our Nissan drive of the game by Jay Bruce. He had a couple of RBI doubles in this one. One in the first inning that made it 1-0. Another one in the 6th inning that made it 4-1 in favor of the Reds. Smashed that one off the glove of Valbuena, the third baseman. Votto scores on this one. Nice night for Jay Bruce. A couple of RBI doubles. Our Nissan drives of the game. 4-1, the Reds a winner in this one. Now we invite you to stay with us. Reds Live postgame presented by Performance Kings Honda is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the total